Hey guys, this is Tim with 84 Outdoors, and I'm going to go over just a few items that I like to do before we go on any kind of ride with a four-wheeler or side-by-side. We're just going to an AT. We're going to Busco this weekend, and it's kind of the night before. We're going to leave in the morning to go. So I just want to give you 3 or 4 things that I would check before you leave to make sure you don't have any problems, or at least try to prevent any problems from happening. So here we go. All right, the first thing we're going to do is check the oil, obviously. We have 3 Can-Ams on the Outlanders. The oil's all in the same place on the right-hand side of it. It's a little tight here. So you just loosen it and check your oil level. Pretty self-explanatory. Just pull it out, wipe it off. You can see the oil in the Outlander, so I just like to stick it back down in there, kind of screw it down. And make sure you are at least at minimum. It's cold, so if you're right at the minimum mark, I didn't heat it up, so I'm right at the minimum mark, so I know I'm good there. Once the engine heats up, it'll raise a little bit, so you should be good there. And there's the first thing. Okay, number 2, we are going to check the coolant level. On the Outlanders, you just pop this front thing off here, and your coolant reservoir is right here. There's a nice minimum and maximum level. Just make sure your coolant level is at least to the minimum, mid between minimum and maximum. Just make sure it's there. You can shake it. You might have to get a little flashlight just to see the level, the fluid level, moving. And that's the second thing I check. All right, third thing we're going to do, I'm going to put the mud tires on. I like to use mud tires when we go to ATV parks. These are the trail tires that I had on from West Virginia last time when we took the four-wheeler. I'm going to take all the tires off so we can, I'm going to switch them anyway, but we're going to grease all the A-arms, and then we're going to go underneath or from the side and grease your U-joints of your drive shaft. That's one of the most important things, in my opinion, is the U-joints, and we'll do that here shortly. All right, I've got the tires off of, it's easier to do to grease the unit with the tires off of it. I just happen to be changing tires here, so I'll have them off and it's easy to grease. The other 2 I'm going to grease, but I'm not going to take the tires off of it. So it's a little more aggravating, but anyway, your upper A-arms, your inside, your actual, your grease fitting is on the opposite side. So basically I'm going to grease that top one from over here, and I'm going to grease this one from the other side on the back. You just go right underneath there. And just hit 2 or 3 shots of grease until you start seeing grease coming out around the bushing. So I got the top, the bottom's the same way. It's on the opposite side to get the other side. You go through there and push it on there. Hit 1, 2, and now it's starting to come out. So we're good there. But this one, the front, is obviously right there where you can see it. So I just hit 1, 2, now it's starting to come out. I see it's squirting out there, so we're good. Sometimes your grease fitting's a little bit of a pain to get off. And then the front one is right on the top. It's probably one of the hardest ones to get to. And there it goes. All right, so got the, do this, you just do the same for each side, and that'll take care of the front. So there's only 3 grease fittings total. You've got your sway bar grease fitting, and then you've got this one and this one. Your trailing arm goes, it rotates on a bolt that goes all the way through. So you just got to grease this fitting, and your sway bar fitting. The last thing that needs to be greased is your, and the most important in my opinion, is the U-joints in your drive shaft. This one is a Max, so it's got a pretty long drive shaft, and it's got a U-joint back here at the rear differential, and it's got a U-joint right before it goes into the transmission. So there's one grease fitting on there and a grease fitting on there. It's kind of hard to get to, so basically, if you have the tires on it, put it in neutral and kind of push it until you get a good spot where you can reach the grease fitting. Here's this one. I've got it here to the side. Got it on there. Now U-joints are sealed, so all they need, as long as you maintain it properly, give it 2 or 3 squirts and that's it. It doesn't need to squirt out all over everything. Just give it 2 or 3 pretty good pumps in there. And that's it. That one. Now the one under here is a little bit harder. All right, so I'm gonna have to get to it from the other side. Okay, I got it turned where it's easy to get to, so I'm just gonna give it 2 or 3 little pumps. And that's good. All right, guys, so I'm finished with that. So that's just a few of the basics. If you're going on a quick ride over the weekend or something like that, kind of last minute, that's a few of the important things to take care of before you go. I'd check the differential fluid, check my ball joints and my wheel bearings and everything, but I just did that this last ride. Everything's good there, so I took care of that. But anyway, number 1, just check your oil, check your coolant. There's nothing worse than overheating. 9 times out of 10, it's because of low coolant, or of course your radiator gets stopped up, which happens. But low coolant, check your coolant, check your oil, make sure your stuff's greased. That's important. I do that every ride. Grease everything, and then while you're at it, while you got the tires off, if you have the tires off, check your brakes and stuff like that. So, but anyway, if this video was helpful, hit like on the bottom, subscribe to our page for more videos to come, and you guys take care. Did you get stung?
Ollie.
Ooh.
Did you get stung by a hornet?
Ooh.